Please welcome, first of all, the founder of the Fitzpatrick Advisory, Brian Fitzpatrick.
I suppose for me, when I'm thinking about technology, I sort of think about, I look back and I think about the ages of personal mobility, if that's the term, the evolution of personal mobility. It can be characterised perhaps by considering the first transport age as the age of the development of the steam engine. And then the second age of personal mobility might be the development of the combustion engine, electricity. And we are about to go into the third age. This is the age of information and communication, informing our personal mobility and the way we travel and demand mobility. So that's where I start from. You look back 10 years ago in the road sector, and I think comparing it to today, we've still got petrol engines, we've still got dirty air, we've still got information for drivers being provided by big black boxes over the motorway. Big trucks compete for space on our roads. Cycling can be a scary experience, and we use mobile phones principally, or some of us, to talk on. But for the first time, if you look forward 10 years, then a lot of those things are actually going to reduce or go away completely. We will be considering personal mobility as an on-demand service. We'll be looking at car ownership, if we do own a car, as something that's going to be powered by fossil fuels and might be the exception to the rule of this on-demand dial-up personal mobility service from a car. And air quality should be significantly improved. So this third age that we're entering is going to be a significant and massive influencer on the way we manage, operate, own and govern the roads in the sector. Technology, therefore, is not going to solve all of the problems unless we start to think about the way that we will create and manage those systems and processes in the sector. And when you look at trains and you look at airports, will highways still be the Cinderella sector? Will road users still be the poor relation to train and air passengers in terms of the way the sector is organised? And it's worth pointing out as well, I think, that it's not just that sense of change that I'm talking about coming from within the highway sector, but others, such as the Wilson Prize authors, are talking about the sector as something that needs to be changed. They're pointing at it and saying, why do they do things that way? So for me, when you think about technology and beyond 2020, it's not about the technology, it's actually about the way, what we do with it and the way we organise ourselves. And I think, really, unless we get that right, a lot of the benefits of technology are just not going to be there. It was way back in 1998 that Egan talked about infrastructure and talked about some of the things that needed to change. And a lot of those things, integrating processes, focus on the customer, are absolutely relevant today in our highway sector, which is inherently resistant to change. And in the sector, we've got many business models that are volume-driven. We've got a lack of systemic innovation in the sector. We've got poor information outside standardised and specific roles to the sector. And so there's quite a lot wrong, and all of us in this event are culpable to some degree about why we're not going to organise ourselves properly for this advent of technology unless we change, and we change now. Obviously, the advent of, or rather the demise of fuel duty is going to change a political perspective around how roads will be organised. And my message is principally that the change should be coming from within the sector as opposed to being imposed on us. And so, essentially, although I'm quite optimistic, someone once said the best way to predict the future is to create it. And we need to start now to adapt and prepare in terms of our business models, the way we organise, and the way we interact with each other to fully realise the benefits from technology. Many of the things that we're going to talk about are wonderful and great. And talking lampposts and whatever we might be creating in terms of technology. And this is my cliche coming up, unless we internally shine a light on what we do, whether it be from a talking lamppost or anything else, whatever we change has got to be ordered, planned and created from the top down and the bottom up to realise the full impacts of technology. So it's actually tackling some of those issues as opposed to the technology to realise the benefits of technology.